Mr. Chairman, I believe we are ready to go.
Very good, thank you. I'd like to call this June 7, 2022 meeting of the Henderson City County Planning Commission to order. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for coming. And Madam Secretary, could you please call the roll?
Yes, thank you. David Dixon.
Here.
Kevin Richards.
Here.
Bobby Jarrett.
Here.
Mac Arnold.
Here.
XR Royster.
Here.
Dickie Johnson.
Here.
Gary Gibson.
Here.
Doug Bell. Stacy Denton.
Here.
Kevin Herron. Gray Hodge. Frank Boyette.
Here.
Did I not see Gray on Zoom?
Gray Hodge.
I'm here, sorry.
Doug Bell.
Very good. Do we have quorum?
We do.
Good. We have a couple of public hearing items to attend to. So I'll entertain a motion to go into public hearing.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're in public hearing. First item is the approval of the minutes for the May 3, 2022 Planning Commission meeting.
So moved.
A motion to approve and a second. Any
Second.
discussion? Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Good. The next item is rezoning 1128. Ms. Marks, I think you're going to help us with that.
Yes, thank you. Rezoning 1128 was submitted by Chapel Hill United Methodist Church for the property located in the city of Henderson at 2601 Highway 60 East. Property ID number 65I-47, containing approximately 4.75 acres. The applicants are requesting a zoning change map amendment from R2 to general business to replace an existing fluorescent sign with a digital sign. So as you guys can see here, this is the current zoning of the area. Again, the purpose of this rezoning is so that they are able to install a new digital sign. Currently, digital signage is not allowable in residentially zoned areas. So they are requesting that general business zone, which would then allow for that digital sign. Digital signs do still require a conditional use permit in the general business area, so that would still go to the BOZA for the design type, stuff like that. Historically, this property has always been used as a church or a gathering place. And I do believe that we have the applicants here if they would like to speak to any further of that discussion. And I do also have some findings that I can read into the record whenever you all are ready for those.
Does the commission have any questions for staff? Would the commission like to hear from the applicants? Would you like to speak to us, sir?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, my name is Randy Owens. I'm representing Chapel Hill Methodist Church.
I need your address.
My address,
Yes, sir.
1108 North Elm Street.
And I need to ask you to promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth this evening.
I do.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm representing the church because I did make the application. We had talked about this in the Board of Trustees. Brian Watterson is the chairman of the Board of Trustees, and also Ed Shelton is here representing the Administrative Council. And so we have, I talked to Ray Nix, who has since gone to another venue, and then talked to Steve Dixon about this. We are wanting to change this sign from fluorescent to LED digital sign, and we would like to get in the 21st century and be able to present things and even make it a mission of the church, that we might be able to display, people who've had weddings, people who we want to honor, things that happen with the children and the youth program. We are really thinking that this would be a good asset for not just us, but the community, so they will know what's going on in our church. That's, right now, I have a presentation, if you wanted to see it, you know, what it would look like, what the sign would look like, digital size. Now, I wanted to let you know that this sign will be retrofitted. It will not be changed hardly in any way from the standpoint of aesthetics. Looking at it, it will be the same, approximately the same size. The only difference is you will be going from a fluorescent, fluorescence is about 60 lumens per watt to a 75 lumens per watt in the LED. One thing I wanted to also say to you that it will have a photo sensor on it, and at night the photo sensor will be reducing the voltage on the sign on the LED supply as to bring it back so it's not glaring to people who are driving by. I know that some signs I've seen are entirely too bright at night, and we don't want to cause any accidents in that case. As you see, we have
We'd like to see the presentation.
A, B, and C here. If you click on that, it shows what will count you the size of the lettering. You'll notice they have chapel on top and have this. Now that size I think is a 2.5 by 8. The original size of the sign itself right now is about a 10 by 5.5. This present time. So the retrofitting will be just in that area you see right there. And this is also, this is the B option. This is from Signs Express out of Texas. That's what this quote is about. And do I need to tell you how much it's going to be? Need to know? Okay.
No, sir.
Too much. Anyway, this option represents the fact that it has a little better top. If you'll see the top where the chapel is, we'll be able to change that out. If we wanted to change it out to something, hopefully it'll still be Chapel Hill Baptist Church. But anyway, this is that one, and then C is the most expensive one. There's the Cadillac. It is a larger sign. It's 3 foot 6 inches by 8 foot, where it's about a foot higher. So then it'll make it just a little bit taller. You see that there. So that's what we're proposing. We would like for you to sanction it if you would, and we know that we would have to go with the codes, and we'll have to look at the existing, structure, and we'd have to look at the windage and that type of thing. We understand that. So I don't know if were there any objections that did they send out a notification, I believe, did they not?
We notify all property adjoiners who touch and are across the road.
And I don't know of any objection at this point. I do know that general business is in the Starlight area. And also I know that the Assembly of God was in commercial, I believe, because it was part of the Walmart deal. I do know that also Race Creek Baptist Church on South Green, I believe, is a general business. Yeah, I believe that's right. I don't know what the new Hope Baptist is on 60. I don't know if that's still agricultural or not. I don't know. So, but we believe it'd be a great asset, not just to Chapel Hill, but I believe to the community. We could put events on there for the community. It could be done. And one thing is that I'm getting older. I've been there 60 years, and Stan Glenn and I have been changing, and Bruce Ferris have been changing this thing out. And it's a safety hazard, folks. you know, for us people, that are getting up there, and we would like to see it, change to digital so we could, make a better community.
Thank you. Commission have any questions for this gentleman? Would anybody else here like to speak to this rezoning for or against? Ms. Marks, I think you said you had some findings of fact to get into the record.
I do. And just for noting, on the printed copy of the findings of fact, it does state that the rezoning was submitted with a narrative development plan, and it was not submitted with a narrative, so we can get that in the minutes. That was an error on my part. But rezoning 1128 was submitted by Chapel Hill United Methodist Church, Inc. for the property located in the city of Henderson at 2601 Highway 60 East, property ID number 65I-47, containing approximately 4.75 acres, herein referred to now as the subject property. Applicants requested a zoning change map amendment from medium-density residential district R2 to general business GB to replace the existing fluorescent sign with a new digital sign. A proposed motion could be, I move that the Planning Commission recommends that the Henderson Board of Commissioners, the city, approve rezoning application 1128, changing the zoning classification from medium-density residential district R2 to general business GB for the subject property. I leave the motion open for other members of the Planning Commission to add findings of fact in support of this motion because the proposed zoning classification is in agreement with the future land use map of the comprehensive plan, which depicts this area developing in a public, semi-public, or office nature. All similar uses are found in the proposed general business zone. Although no further findings are required, as the proposed use is in agreement with the future land use map of the comprehensive plan, the existing R2 zoning classification is inappropriate, and the proposed general business zoning classification is appropriate because the property has historically been used as a church or gathering place. The property is located along and on the north side of US Highway 60 on the east side of Henderson, which is a major thoroughfare and a major arterial street. Another church is located immediately across US Highway 60. An apartment complex is located to the east and across Watson Lane, which is a side street. The Ben Gate School is located to the west and across Ben Gate Road, which is a side street. The proposed use will not adversely impact the other uses in the area.
Thank you.
Do you adopt the factual part of that as your testimony?
I do.
Okay, we have, any other discussion by the commission? No one else wants to speak to this? I'll entertain a motion in regard to rezoning 1128.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a motion to adopt the proposed motion that was just read into the minutes for an approval for rezoning number 1128, submitted by Chapel Hill United Methodist Church.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Kevin Richards,
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett,
Yes.
Matt Arnold,
Yes.
XR Royster,
Yes.
Dickie Johnson,
Yes.
Gary Gibson,
Yes.
Doug Bell,
Yes.
Stacy Denton,
Yes.
Gray Hodge,
Yes.
Frank Boyette.
Yes.
Very good, the motion passes. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you for allowing us to step in the 21st century. The next step is just raising the money. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, I think that concludes the public hearing items on the agenda, so I'll entertain a motion to leave public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First item, the next item on the agenda is the May finance report. Ms. Curtis?
Yes. For May finance report, we're at 88% of budget, with 1 month left in this budget. I can answer any questions. If not, we just need a recommendation for approval.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the finance report. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item is, Next item is the bond report. Ms. Marks, is that yours?
Yes, thank you. So we do have 4 bond updates to present today, so I'll go through all 4, and then if you have any questions on those, just let me know. Home Place did request that we review their current bonding for erosion control. Upon that review, it was suggested that we lower the erosion control bond from $54,170 to $35,210.50 for the next year. Taco Bell also has an erosion control bond currently existing. We are good to release that bond, so that amount that we currently have is $6,250. We also have a bond for SKN Properties, for Karan Patel, which is the removal of a sign, on his property. We are gonna extend that bond for 1 year at the same amount of $5,300. And then lastly, we have the South Main Development, which is, Bob Swanley's, townhomes. And we are releasing that current, erosion control bond that we have for $1,566.50. And I just need approval to move forward with those changes.
Any questions from the commission? I'll entertain a motion to approve the bond report.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to approve as submitted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. The bond report is approved. Next item on the agenda is the Hercules Manufacturing Company Storage Yard Site Plan. Mr. Bishop, you're going to help us with that?
Yes, sir. Hercules Manufacturing Company Storage Yard Site Plan submitted by Hercules Manufacturing Company for the property located in the city of Henderson at 800 Bob Posey Street, being parcel ID number 65H-10. The applicants are requesting site plan approval. As you can see on the site plan, the applicants are requesting 2 types of improvements to the site. The first one, they are proposing a 3-inch overlay of 39,884 square feet in a floodplain, and they are requesting 63,554 square feet in a floodway. The applicant is also proposing 31,940 square feet of gravel storage yard in a floodplain. If you'll notice on the screen, the area, the gray area to the upper right, that is the floodway. That is where they're requesting the 3-inch overlay. The area directly west of that is where they are requesting the same 3-inch overlay, but that is in a floodplain. To the south of that, they are requesting a 3-inch aggregate / gravel parking area. That is in a floodplain. I have prepared a motion for you guys. There are 4 subject tos, and if you would like, I will read those into the record as well.
First of all, could you explain to what the difference is in terms of our concerns with floodway and floodplain?
Correct. I printed off some documentation for you to help illustrate what the difference is. When you think of a floodway, it's typically best to think of a channel. That is the actual canal that is carrying floodwater. It is moving with velocity, is a good way to think of a floodway. A floodplain is, we always jokingly call it a social water. When you go to these conferences, that's the water that spreads out and likes to mingle and meet people. So you have velocity moving at a quick pace, and then water that is generally kind of placid. It's just kind of hanging out. So that is what this drawing does a really good job of explaining, in my opinion.
Can you indicate for us on the map, Canoe Creek is the affected waterway, right?
Correct. Teresa, would you mind turning on that right there? Yeah. So the red area that you see on the map is all floodplain. That's the social water that I briefly described. The current flood maps project water to come out of the banks and then flood out into the city there. The black dotted line is depicted as the floodway. The map showed that is the channel that would carry floodwaters. That is the area that would have velocity, according to the flood maps, which were were updated in 2017, so they are pretty up to date.
So, Mr. Bishop, if I see this right, then the applicants are requesting to knowingly build in a floodway.
Correct. There's a partial part of the property already built upon the floodway. We are bringing that into compliance.
And there's no structures planned here, no buildings.
That's my knowledge. This would all be, truck body storage, to the best of my knowledge.
Let me ask you a question, Bill. Where it's gonna be dense grade, it's gonna be pervious. There won't be any major change of rainwater effect.
For which part, I'm sorry? For the, new part or for the existing part? The overlay or the new? I'm sorry.
Well, you said one of it's gonna be gravel,
Correct.
correct? So
Yes.
that won't be a major change.
It will be for that part, yes, because if you look at, Teresa, you gotta go back to the drawing, please. So, put your hand on that one, please. That part there is gonna be new. That is currently grass, so that will be a change.
So then, to clarify, the top right is existing gravel,
Correct.
the overlay is just additional
Correct.
gravel on top.
Yeah, a 3-inch overlay.
Solid blacktop ain't gonna be a pervious type blacktop.
I believe the, drawings call for crushed concrete. That, Teresa, can you zoom in on that, please?
Says recycled concrete.
Any other questions for staff?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Haven't been through a lawsuit with Hercules before, or will we somehow have protection ourselves?
In the motion, we are attempting to do that. Number one on the list, I will read it to the record. The applicant, one of the subject twos is that the applicant execute an indemnification and hold harmless agreement to the satisfaction of the City of Henderson, the Henderson City County Plan Commission, and Henderson Water Utility. Once that document is written, it will be reviewed by 3 attorneys. The City of Henderson attorney, the Henderson Water Utility attorney, and our own attorney, Mr. Friday.
Mr. Bishop, why don't you go ahead and share the rest of the subject twos that are being proposed?
Yes, sir. Number 2 would be all applicable permits from the Kentucky Division of Water, which is typically a stream construction permit. Number 3, a no-rise certification issued by FEMA, which stands for the Federal Emergency Management Agency. And number 4, bonding for erosion control in the amount of $13,100. And Mr. Chairman, I have also printed off some documentation from FEMA that will give you a brief description of what a no-rise certification is. The quick version of that is that hydraulic model will be submitted to FEMA by the applicant's engineer. That model must certify that there will be a 0.0 increase in base flood elevation downstream from the project. So they cannot increase the flood elevation any. 0.0 is the number established by this regulation.
Any other questions for staff? The applicant with us this evening? Would like to speak to the commission? Somebody like to? Thank you, sir. I'll need your name
My name is Jeffrey Caddick,
and address,
7221 Woodford Court, Evansville, Indiana.
and I'd like you to ask you to promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth this evening.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Please proceed.
So the, purpose of these, upgrades that we're looking to make is, you know, obviously, as you can tell from the one photo that shows the actual property, we have a tremendous number of trucks parked back there. And so as time goes on, and you're driving heavy trucks around, it's off ground, you start running it. Right now, we have multiple trucks stuck. We have to call it a tow truck to come get them out. So we want to better equip ourselves to be more efficient in terms of the storage in the vehicles and being able to retrieve them and whatnot. And I think that's about the size of it.
Any questions for this gentleman from the commission?
Can you please spell your last name for the record?
CADDICK.
Thank you.
No questions? Thank you, sir.
Won't be no building there at all, but
No.
get parking, and you know if you get high water, you got
Yes,
to
sir.
fly everything out.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
All righty, thank you.
Anyone else like to speak to this issue? Good. Planning Commission have any other questions? I'll entertain a motion in regard to the Hercules Manufacturing Company storage yard site plan as we have discussed.
Chairman, I'll offer a motion that the planning commission approve the site plan for the Hercules Manufacturing Storage Yard site, subject to the following conditions that were read into the record.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Frank Boyette.
Aye.
Gray Hodge.
Sorry, yes.
Stacy Denton.
Yes.
Doug Bell.
Yes.
Gary Gibson.
Yes.
Dickie Johnson.
Yes.
XR Royster.
Oh.
I'm sorry?
No.
Okay, thank you. Bobby Jarrett.
Yes.
Kevin Richards.
Yes.
The motion passes. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the Duncan Henderson site plan. I think Ms. Marks will help us with that one.
Yes. The Duncan Henderson site plan submitted by, I'm so sorry if I get this incorrect, Marati Donuts for Realty LLC for the property located in the city of Henderson at 2222 Highway 41 North, property ID number 65B-48. The applicants are requesting site plan approval. As you can see in your packet, the proposed site plan is located on the parcel in the building that used to be Tokyo. It's right in front of the Sleep Inn. They're proposing to use the existing structure, but from my understanding, mostly gut everything out and redo that, to utilize for a Dunkin' Donuts as well as a potential second tenant. We have received all of our approvals from the technical advisors that are needed. Staff does offer approval of this site plan. I do believe that the owner as well as their representative are here if you all have further questions for them on this.
Can you explain what's going on behind the building? It's almost impossible for me to see on the computer and not much better on this piece of paper. We have a line of traffic. Is it?
Are you talking behind where they're doing the parking lot and things and the?
It would be behind the building.
Yes. Sorry. There we go. So the building itself, there is some parking in front as well as their handicap spots are in the front. Towards the back of the building, when you're going towards kind of sleep-in area, that parking lot will consist of the queuing line as well as other parking spots for either the tenants or customers to utilize.
I see cars going in, but I don't see cars going out.
Yeah, so if you will notice there, right, is kind of when you're getting up to beside the window, or what would be the window, they can go straight out. The exit is right there where it says do not block exit. That will be the exit from the building. The queuing does meet the queuing requirements for codes, all of the parking requirements.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for staff in regard to this site plan? From the commission? Would anybody in the audience like to speak to this proposal? If we don't have further questions, I'll entertain a motion in regards to the Duncan Henderson site plan.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the Duncan Henderson site plan submitted by, whatever how they pronounce it, Donuts for Realty LLC for the property located in the city of Henderson at 2222 Highway 41 North, PID number 65B-48.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Kevin Richards.
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett.
Yes.
Mac Arnold.
yes,
XR Royster.
Yes.
Vicky Johnson.
Yes.
Gary Gibson.
Yes.
Stacy Denton.
Yes.
Gray Hodge.
Yes.
Frank Boyette.
Yes.
Very good, motion passes. We are now on to the Dirty Diesel Repair LLC site plan. Ms. Marks, you got that one too?
The Dirty Diesel Repair LLC site plan, is submitted by Scott Smith for the property located in Henderson County at 5680 Riverport Road, property ID number 39-1-16. The applicants are requesting site plan approval. We pull that one up on the regular PDF, just so you guys will notice in your packet, this property is gonna be located just behind the Tri-State Rentals there on the corner of 136 and Riverport Road. The plan proposes a 6,400 square foot building with, I believe, 3 bays, for diesel truck repair. With this building, there will be required a new entrance to be constructed, and with that entrance, we will be requiring bonding in the amount of $14,364.44. Other than that, we have received all necessary approvals for this site plan, and staff does offer approval contingent upon the submittal of that bonding. I do believe that the applicant is also here if you guys have any further questions for them.
What was the subject to on this?
It is subject to the submittal of the bonding for the project, and the bonding is for the entrance as well as the parking in the amount of $14,364.44.
$14,364.
44.
Any questions from the commission for staff? Anybody with us here tonight that'd like to speak to the project? Okay, no questions? I'll entertain a motion in regard to the Dirty Diesel Repair LLC site plan.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Dirty Diesel Repair LLC site plan submitted by Scott Smith for the property located in Henderson County at 5680 Riverport Road, PID number 39-1-16, and subject to the conditions of the driveway entrance bonding of $14,364.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Kevin Richards.
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett.
Yes.
Mac Arnold.
yes,
Mac Arnold. XR Royster.
Yes.
Vicky Johnson. Gary Gibson.
yes,
Stacy Denton. Yes. Doug Bell.
Yes.
Gray Hodge.
Yes.
Frank Boyette.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes. The next item on the agenda is some administrative business having to do with our personnel regulations. Mr. Bishop?
Yes, sir. Staff would like to request that our personnel regs be updated to match those of the city. In January of this year, the city added 2 paid holidays for the city employees' benefit. The first of those is the Juneteenth Day celebration, and then the second day would be Veterans Day as paid holidays. Again, we typically follow the city's days off because we are in a city building. As you may remember, we are created through an interlocal agreement, so we typically would have to pick either the city schedule or the county schedule. It has been our precedent that we would follow the city schedule, so we are requesting that our days match those of the city.
Any questions for staff in this regard?
You got the money budgeted for these holidays?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're all, it's all the same.
I know
The
that.
budget stays the same.
Motion in order?
Yes, sir.
All right, I make a motion that the planning commission follows the city's updated, holiday schedule for Juneteenth Day and Veterans Day for holidays.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Frank Boyette,
Yes.
Gray Hodge,
Yes.
Stacy Denton,
Yes.
Doug Bell,
Yes.
Gary Gibson,
Yes.
Dickie Johnson.
Yes.
Exar Royster,
Yes.
Mac Arnold,
yes,
Bobby Jarrett,
Yes.
Kevin Richards,
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is other business. Do we have any other business, Mr. Bishop?
No, sir.
Anyone else have any other business they'd like to bring before the commission? Any commissioners have any other business they'd like to bring forward for the good of the cause? In that case, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. We stand adjourned